Yıldırıoğlu, we have started broadcasting Facebook and YouTube. We can start Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Karadağ. Hi, everyone, dear Congress participants and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 6th International SEER Congress. I'm Associate Professor Dr. Yıldırıoğlu, Mersin University. The primary objective of this Congress is to contribute to the advancements of communication, economics, management, organization, entrepreneurship, innovation, and scientific research. We aim to foster the development of human, social, and cultural capital. Before we get started, I would like to express that events in Turkey are opened with the national anthem. Because of this reason, I invite you to listen to the Turkish national anthem together. And then we will start the 6th International SEER Congress. Mr. Karadağ, can you please share our anthem? Dear Karadağ, would you please share Turkish anthem? Thank you. Before starting the Congress, I would like to express my gratitude to who have shown great devotion in bringing the Congress to this stage in your presence. Special thanks to Professor Dr. Aman Riyakarta Kushuma, sorry about my pronunciation, by the way, Director of IPMI International Business School, and Dr. Emi Di Maio, Dean and Chief Academic Officer at Acacia University, United States of America, Associate Professor Dr. Mehmet Naci Efe, Head of International University of Gorizia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Professor Dr. Farhat Ahrurov, Vice Rector of Samarkand Branch of Tashkent University of Economics, Uzbekistan, and Professor Dr. Sergey Folot, Rector of Alfred Nobel University from Ukraine, and Professor Dr. Mehmet Karadağ, Bolu Abant İzzet Baysal University, Turkey co-chair. And keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Shyam El Kapapli, Director of Eros Research Consultancy, New Zealand, Professor Dr. Hernan Di Forleo, University of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Carles Agustín Hernández, International Governance Consultant and SDG Manager from Spain, and Dr. Devi Postonincias Reani, MBA, Dean Faculty of Economics and Business, University Jakarta Raya from Indonesia, and Professor Dr. Luis Michael Cardoso from Portugal, and Dr. Marie Bond, Vice President of Acacia University from United States again, and Dr. I.R. Fordios Basquets, Dr. I.R. Fordios Basquets, University Sinovan, Indonesia. And guest speakers, Assistant Professor Dr. Amelia Nayam, Indonesia, MBA, Head of CSMSR, IPMI, International Business School, Jakarta, Indonesia, and Dr. Bahrullah Safi, Vice President, International, Acacia University, Arizona, from Arizona States and United States. And as Assistant Professor Dr. Seshin Gupta, Mohanlal Siddhaya University, and Associate Professor Dr. Murtaza Hasanoğlu from Azerbaijan State Administration Academy. And the first Congress took place in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and second Congress in Georgia. The third one is in Ukraine, was in Ukraine, and the fourth Congress where I received the Best Paper Award in India, and the fifth Congress in Indonesia, and now the sixth one is being held at Acacia University in the United States of America. In this Congress, totally 315 papers will be presented. Every submitted paper is published in the abstract book and proceedings book, and with an ISBN, and a certificate of participation is awarded. The Best Paper Award is presented to selected papers by the evaluation board. There will be a closing session on last day of the Congress. We welcome all participants to the closing session, since the Best Paper Award for this Congress will be announced at the closing session. The 6th International CEO and Social Sciences Congress boasts the participation and contributions of 464 researchers, educators, and community leaders from 31 countries, which one are Albania, Argentina, Azerbaijan, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Canada, Cuba, Ethiopia, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Kosovo, Kyrgyzstan, New Zealand, Pakistan, Palestine, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia, Spain, Thailand, NC, Turkey, Ukraine, USA, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and 140 institutions. In addition, there will be 3 sessions and a keynote and a guest speaker panels during 3 days. I sincerely hope you will enjoy 3 days of debates and networking. We can proudly open together the 6th International CEO Congress. In order to manage time effectively, I want to give a word to our speakers orderly mentioned in the Congress program. Welcome all again. And welcome Professor Dr. Aman Lekartı Kushuma, Director of IPMI, International Business School. Can you share your thoughts about the Congress? What do you think of our Congress? What would you like to share with us? Professor Dr. Aman Lekartı Kushuma is here or not? I guess not attending now. And I will give a word to another speaker, Dr. Emi Dimayo, Dean and Chief Academic Officer at Acacia University from the United States. Welcome.
Actually, my name is Dr. Maury Bond. I'm here on behalf of Dr. Amy DeMaio. Acacia University, USA is proud to be the host for the Congress this year. It's a pleasure to be here with such a prestigious panel and to experience and to engage and collaborate with institutions around the world. That's one of the blessings of online education. One thing that we do really well at Acacia University is we offer all of our programs in an asynchronous environment, which allows people to engage professionally in terms of their work life, offer opportunities for them to have time in their personal life without interrupting anything. And so the opportunity for us to engage here, to collaborate, to really drive global impact is significant. And so we're honored to host this prestigious event. Acacia University, we're US based in Arizona. We are DEAC accredited, nationally accredited in the United States, but we're also part of a larger organization called Westford Education Group, which has 15 higher education brands across our system, from the UK to Europe to here in the UAE to the USA. It's incredibly fortunate for us to have that type of energy and synergy around the world in our programs, whether that's graduate and doctoral programs, certificate offerings, professional development offerings. And so I love these types of environments like the CEO Congress, where you're talking about communication or economics or organization, so many different fields where we can all come together, where we all come from different backgrounds, but where we can really provide synergy and collaboration. Because the best thing is that whether it's online or on-site or hybrid, you reach the learners where they are, right? Instead of having them stop their lives to advance their careers, we can come together and find a time and a pace that's right for the learner, that's right for them in terms of their schedule, that's right for them in terms of their budget. And so the opportunity to engage with universities around the world in this environment is incredibly fortunate, and we look forward to other opportunities to engage and collaborate. And it's a blessing to be here, and I look forward to engaging over the next 3 days. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this.
Thank you. And it's our pleasure to being a participant of this Congress with you, Acacia University. I'm graduated from State University of New York, by the way. That's
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much.
And I will give the word to Associate Professor Dr. Mehmet Naci Efe, the head of...
Dear Hıdıroğlu, we can announce Aman, rector of IPMI again. He's traveling and he has sent a video record, so we can open it.
Okay. Then I will give the word to Professor Dr. Aman Kushuma, rector of IPMI International Business School.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed participants, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the 2023 International CEO Congress. This momentous gathering brings together 464 esteemed academics from 31 countries, representing a diverse tapestry of knowledge and expertise. With your collective contribution, we embark on a journey toward fostering peace, collaboration, and a shared commitment to sustainable development. The impressive assembly of minds from Albania to Argentina, from Azerbaijan to Bangladesh, and from Belarus to Bosnia and Herzegovina reminds us of the power that lies within diversity. It is this very diversity that enriches our discussion, fuels innovation, and paves the way for new possibilities. Today, we celebrate the spirit of unity that unites us as we strive toward a better future. A core objective of this Congress is to promote sustainable development goals for quality education. Education serves as the foundation upon which sustainable development can flourish. By ensuring that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, we empower individuals to create a brighter, more equitable world. Education is the cornerstone of progress, and it must encompass essential elements such as education for sustainable development, sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, peace building, non-violence, global citizenship, cultural diversity, and the transformative power of culture in sustainable development. By embracing the principle of education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, we pave the way for a future that values the delicate balance between economic progress, social equity, and environmental preservation. As CEOs and leaders from various fields, we bear a significant responsibility to drive positive change. This Congress serves as a platform for sharing insights, exploring partnership, and formulating strategies that will propel us toward a sustainable and prosperous futures. In this era of rapid technological advancement and interconnectedness, our ability to adapt and to thrive relies heavily on the quality of education we provide. As leaders in our respective organizations, we possess the power to shape the educational landscape and foster an environment where learners become equipped with the tools they need to navigate the complexities of the world. We have the responsibility to instill values that prioritize sustainability, equity, and compassion. The diversity represented in this gathering is a testament to the richness of our global community. From the shores of New Zealand to the heartland of China, from the bustling cities of India to the picturesque landscapes of Canada, we come together to celebrate the beauty and strength that lie within our differences. The challenges we face in the pursuit of sustainable development are significant. But so too are the opportunities that lies before us. Through the sharing of knowledge, expertise, and best practices, we can harness the collective power of our ideas and pave the way for innovative solutions. By fostering collaboration and nurturing partnership across borders, we transcend boundaries and build bridges toward a brighter futures. I extend my deepest appreciation to each participant for their dedication, patience, and commitment to driving positive change. Your presence here today reaffirms our collective belief in the transformative potential of education and the power of collaboration. As we embark on this remarkable journey together, may our collective efforts sow the seed of progress, inspire others to join our cause, and lead us toward a future where peace, collaboration, and sustainable development thrive. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every participant who has graced us with their presence here today. Your dedication to academic excellence, your commitment to driving positive change, and your unwavering belief in the transformative power of education serve as a beacon of hope for us all. May this 2023 International CEO Congress be a resounding success, forging new friendship and laying the groundwork for a future that embraces peace, collaboration, and sustainable development. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor. Nice sharing. And I will give a word to Associate Professor Dr. Mehmet Nadir Efe, Head of International University of Russia, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. In Turkish, Osman Haysam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for inviting me. So everybody and dear chairman and all academic personnel, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CEO Congress. So I am Associate Professor Dr. Mehmet Nadir Efe. It's my Department of Strategic Management. So I am also entrepreneurship. So we have in Turkey Ecole Group company. We have 7,000 staff now working with me together. So also it's very important. 3 years ago we opened very big startup for me because technology center not normally used in university, but we open private technology center named CEO Tekmer with Mr. Professor Dr. Karadal. We have together, so named CEO Tekmer, CEO Congress, CEO Platform, so many different types. So I want to talk about CEO Technology Center because it's very important. We have 3 topics. So first, cybersecurity. It is very important, and healthy technology and software engineering and artificial intelligence. So now we have 17 startups. So our purpose, entrepreneurs who want to start their own business or have started their own business. So bring it together with our academic team and experienced business people to provide training and management support in which they can become the CEO of their own business with maximum and effectiveness at minimum cost. Our mission, it is to increase the potential of creating projects that will provide with maximum efficiency at minimum cost by addressing the ideas of entrepreneurs that can turn into business by according to establishment of new companies. Our vision is very important, contribute to Turkey's in transformation towards becoming and development country by the establishment of innovative technology and initiatives besides accelerating the growth of exciting ones by scaling up them. So I wish it is very important for us in Turkey. We need, like CEO Tekmer, so much company, because now we have just 17 private technology in Turkey. I wish we continue. It is very startup and entrepreneur. So it is my pleasure to participate once again in this kind of event, or as dear colleagues, Mr. Karadal. So the world changed and the new generation changed. So many professional work now lost. So and born new professional job. We need to change ourselves. We have to change our perspective. I invite you to think fast in and changing fast world. So thanks again to our dear to organize and host here in Turkey, starting from Mr. Karadal. Thank you so much and listen to me.
Thank you for your nice sharing. About entrepreneurship and startups. And now I will give a word to Professor Dr. Ferhat Ahrurov, Vice Rector of Samarkand Branch of Tashkent University of Economics from Uzbekistan.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the International CEO Congress. I am honored to stand before you as a representative of Samarkand branch of Tashkent State University of Economics. This Congress serves as a global platform where diverse minds of academia, entrepreneurship, public-private, NGO management, arts, and graduate studies converge. Together, we aim to share knowledge, insights, and experiences in the fields of communication, economics, entrepreneurship, management, organization, and social sciences. This event is a testament to power of collaboration and inclusivity. We value all the participation and contributions, ensuring diverse perspectives and ideas are embraced. So this Congress is engaged in thought-provoking discussions, learn from esteemed speakers and build meaningful connections. Together, we strive to spark innovation, drive economic growth, and make significant contributions in our fields. I express my gratitude to our distinguished speakers, sponsors, and partners for their support. I also thank each participant for their valuable contribution and active engagement later on. Let us seize the boundless opportunities and lie ahead and make this Congress a source of inspiration, learning, and collaboration. Once again, welcome to CEO Congress. Thank you for your attention. I wish success to work of Congress and all speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for your nice and insightful words. And now I will give the word to Professor Dr. Sergio Kolot, Rector of Alfred Nobel University, Dnipro from Ukraine. He is not attending, I guess. Yeah.
Good morning, dear scientists, researchers, and educators, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my colleagues, co-presidents of the 6th International Social Science Congress, Professor Dr. Farhud Agrorov, Dr. Amy DiMaio, and Professor Aman Vikaraktu-Kosumah, and Congress Coordinator Kerim Karadal personally. You and your teams have done a fantastic job to make an International Social Science CEO Congress successfully happen for the 6th time. You are reliable partners to move forward for great achievements and success. Thank you very much. My special appreciations to our Congress guests and keynote speakers for the high-quality presentations of their extremely important research results. Your supports and participations as guests and keynote speakers will take the 6th International Social Science Congress to a new quality level. I am happy that the 6th International Social Science CEO Congress has become a multinational and multilingual platform for a fruitful exchange of ideas on extremely important issues, which are discussed by researchers, educators, and community leaders from 31 countries. These figures show the highest level of global involvement in social issues covered by the 6th International Social Science CEO Congress. And I am extremely delighted to hold such a prominent event in Ukraine and Alfred Nobel University. It is really important to hold the 6th International Social Science CEO Congress in Ukraine right now, when my country bravely fights against Russian military aggression, and you see, now I can say that we are winning, doing every second extremely hard work. 477 days of war, Russia is destroying all living. Everybody can see atrocities of Russian in Bucha, Mariupol, Kramatorsk, Irpin, Kharkiv, Severodonetsk, Kherson. Now we can see the largest man-made disaster since Chernobyl, the destruction of the Novakhovka Dam. One of the biggest dams in the world was destroyed and caused humanitarian and environmental disaster in the whole southern region. Thousands of houses were flooded and tens of thousands of people suffered. This is a Russian terrorism and genocide against Ukrainians. But my people and my nation stand and struggle. We all turn it into warriors or volunteers. We all feel in the battlefield to make our victory closer. Alfred Nobel University was the biggest hub in the region for refuse to work with hundreds of people who fled from bombing and shelling, giving them shelter and psychological support. Now, Dnipro, my beautiful city, is under missile attacks almost every day. but we are strong to live, strong to win. As we did when occupants targeted civilians' infrastructure and ruined our energy supply system when millions of Ukraine were without electricity, water, and warming during the long winter months. It is extremely important for the academic community not to tolerate atrocity and oppose aggression unanimously. Dear colleagues, our fruitful work during the 6th International Social Science CEO Congress and collection of abstracts should make a significant contribution to research the global transformation of paradigm to treat humanitarian issues, responsibility to work out and analyze scenarios of possible developments, and strengthen the potential of science and research to find our optimal peacemaking challenges of 21st century. I sincerely hope you will enjoy these three days of debates and networking. Thank you for your participation. Now I wish you only one thing. I wish you peace, and I wish you the victory for Ukraine. Support Ukraine. Stand with Ukraine. Let's struggle together. Let's win together. Slava Ukraini! Glory to Ukraine!
Very impressive speech. And I will announce you our last speaker of the ceremony, dear gracious Professor Dr. Hürmet Karadal, Bolu Abant İzzet Baysal University, Türkiye, Kocaeli. Welcome, Professor.
Duygu Hocam merhaba.
Merhaba hocam.
Böyle yetiştim. Sizi görmek çok güzel. Ben böyle Türkçe İngilizce karıştıracağım biraz. Zaten onların dili sizle birlikte yürütelim. Hello everybody. Welcome to 6th CEO Congress. We are very happy about together with us. Duygu Hocam, vurgu yapmak istediğim şey, arkadaşlar herkese merhaba. This Congress is very important because of this sustainability. Yani kongre 6. kongre ve kongrenin en önemli özelliği sürdürülebilir olması. 6. kongre sustainability ve diğer bir husus da hocam, bu kongrenin güzel tarafı çok sayıda ülkeden insanı bir araya getirmesi. Different countries together. It is very important. Do you see?
Professor Dr. says the most important feature of the 6th Congress is its emphasis on sustainability. It's a very important issue. And the Congress brings all people around the world, as I mentioned before, about 31 countries are attending this Congress. Hocam devam edin.
Yeah. Özellikle tabii bu bir organizasyon çok önemli. Organize eden, yani özellikle de organizasyon komitesindeki herkese ayrı ayrı teşekkür etmek isterim. Tabii sadece bu organizasyon komitesi değil, bu diğer kongremizin önemli kurulları var. Bu kurullarda da bilim kurulu, danışma kurulu ve tabii işbirliği yapılan üniversiteler var hocam. Burada konuşma yapan hocalarımız her birisi o işte ülkelerinde, üniversitelerinde bu işbirliğini sağlama noktasında katkıları var. Bu katkılar sayesinde, yani işbirliği, bu kongrenin bir diğer özelliği de collaboration, işbirliği. işbirliğinin sağlanmış olması. Ancak zaten bu işbirliği sayesinde bu sürdürülebilirlik sağlanabiliyor. Dolayısıyla söylemek istediğim tekrar o ki bu işbirliğine katkıda bulunan ve özellikle organizasyon komitesinde bulunan, bilim kurulunda bulunan, danışma kurulunda bulunan bütün akademisyen dostlara, arkadaşlara bizatihi teşekkür etmek istiyorum.
Professor Dr. says the organization is very important and he thanks the organization science and advisory committees especially, and we would like to thank our Congress committees and the collaborating universities as well. Thanks to everyone for their contribution.
Hocam tabii isimlerini de belirtmek isterim. Burada teşekkür etmek isterim. Aman Virakar soyadını tam Rector of IPMI International Business School.
Thanks to Aman, Professor Dr. Aman. Yeah, okay.
Dr. Ami Dimayo, Dino, Chief Academic Officer of Akasya.
Benim için de okuması çok zor oluyordu hocam. Pronounce etmesi. Pronounce the names as you know. Okay.
Mehmet Naci Efe hocam, Associate Profesör, konuşmaları için yine bu başından beri işbirliğine katkı sağlayan Türkiye'den ve Bosna'da kendisine teşekkür ederiz Mehmet Naci Efe'ye. Farhat Ahorov, teşekkür ederiz. Özbekistan'dan az önce konuşma yaptılar. Ben yoldaydım. Şimdi bir de kardeş kongremiz var hocam. EMI, EMI Kongres 9.'su Özbekistan'da yapılacak yüz yüze ve tabii online imkanı da var. Özbekistan'a ayrıca teşekkür ederiz tabii özellikle. Buyur hocam.
9th EMI Congress will be held on Uzbekistan and special thanks to Uzbekistan as well, he says. Evet hocam.
Tabii bu kongrelerin yüz yüze yapılmasını çok arzu ederiz. İşte bu malum pandemi vesaire işte olumsuzluklardan dolayı. Ama biz bu yüz yüze yapacağımız kongrede bir araya gelmeyi arzu ederiz bu dostlarla. Yüz yüze de bir araya gelmeyi arzu ederiz. İşte 9. kongremizde böyle bir imkan da var. İnşallah CEO Kongresi'nin de yüz yüze ilerleyen dönemde yapılmasını arzu ediyoruz.
He says we prefer the Congress to be face to face and the 9th Congress to be held in Uzbekistan will be face to face. And I wish the CEO Congress will be held on face to face as well in near future. Evet hocam.
Evet hocam. Yine Ukrayna'dan co-chair hocamız Profesör Doktor Sergi Kolot, Rector of Alfred Nobel University. Kendisine özellikle teşekkür etmek isteriz. Ve tabii bu savaşların bitmesini, bir daha olmamasını arzu ederiz. Buradan da bu çağrıyı kongre olarak duyuruda bulunmak istiyoruz. Tüm katılımcılar olarak ve tüm farklı ülkelerden. Kendisine katkıları için Sayın Rektör'ün teşekkür ederiz. Dediğim gibi tüm kongre kurulu ve burada Hazirun olmak üzere birçok bu ülkeden katılımcılar olarak bu savaşların bitmesini arzu ettiğimizi de belirtmek isteriz hocam.
Tamam. We say special thanks to the academician who is the co-chair of Ukraine, and we wish the war to end as well. And we thank them for their contributions and wish these wars to end at all Congress committees. Evet hocam.
Hocam sanırım 30'dan fazla, 34-40'a yakın ülkeden katılım var. Tabii her bir katılımcının çalışmalarının nitelikli çalışmalar, bu çalışmalarla katkıda bulunan akademisyen dostlara teşekkür ederiz. Her geçen gün, her geçen kongrede de bu çalışmaların kalitesi artıyor. Bu kongrede de çok kaliteli çalışmalar ile katılan meslektaşlarımıza bilahare teşekkür etmek isteriz hocam.
The quality of the work is improving day by day, he says, and we thank each participant for their qualified works. And the first advice is as well, he says. Evet.
Hocam yine keynote speaker Siham El Kafafi ve diğer Arjantin'den Forleo yine İspanya'dan Charles Augusti işte devam ediyorum Endonezya'dan Portekiz'den Amerika'dan ve tabii işte İndonezya'dan keynote speaker ve guest speaker hocalarımıza ismini sayamadığım işte kardeş Azerbaycan'dan Murteza Hasanoğlu gibi her bir hocamıza bilahare ayrı ayrı teşekkür etmek istiyorum hocam.
Many special thanks to again guest speakers and keynote speakers as well. Evet hocam.
Evet hocam çok teşekkür ederim. Tabii bu kongrede 315 bildiri sunulacak olması, 500'e yakın araştırmacının buna katkı sağlamış olması sevindirici. İşte o dediğim gibi 30'dan fazla ülke o isimlerini hocalarımız saydılar, siz de belirttiniz. Bu kongreyle ilgili olarak belirtmek istediğim o ki ya bu tür kongrelerin ne kadar önemli olduğu yani bir takım akademisyenlerin bir araya gelmesi açısından ve özellikle farklı kültürlerden akademisyenlerin bir araya getirmesi bakımından fevkalade değerli ve önemli, anlamlı buluyorum. Yine bu katkıda bulunan tüm organizasyon komitesi ve tabii katkıda bulunan, sunum yapan yani çalışmalara katılan dostlara teşekkür ederiz. Hayırlı uğurlu olmasını akademiyeye, her bir akademisyen dostlarımıza katkı sağlamasını, tabii bir anlamda kayda geçiyor yapılan yayınlar. Bunların gelecekte, bugün ve gelecekte topluma, insanlığa faydalı olmasını arzu ediyorum. Teşekkür ederim. Duygu Hocam, öncelikle size bu katkılarınız için çok teşekkür ederiz.
Hocam ben de teşekkür ederim. Açılış seremonisinde bana söz verdiğiniz için. Sizin her zaman zaten yeriniz, kıymetiniz farklı benim için hocam olarak da. Çok güzel çalışmalara ve bilim dünyasına ışık tutmaya devam ediyorsunuz. Şeref verdiniz hocam tekrar için teşekkür ediyoruz.
Hocam saygılar sunuyorum. Tam ben de belirtmek istiyorum. Özellikle sizin girişimcilikle ilgili yaptığınız çalışmalar böyle yıldız gibi parlıyor ve ben çok bilahare burada da teşekkür etmek isterim. Hocam kolaylıklar diliyorum. Daha fazla vakit almak istemiyorum. Dediğim gibi tüm dostları da Türkiye'ye davet etmek isteriz. Bu arada onu da belirtmek isterim. Evet hocam.
He says, I think that such congresses are important and extremely meaningful for academics from various cultures to come together. And I hope that the Congress will contribute to fellow academicians and benefit the society. And he invites you all in Turkey for visit as well. Thank you for your attendance. Hocam ben sizin o zaman konuşmamıza da son verirken seremoniyi de kapatayım artık.
Hocam çok teşekkür ederim. Saygılar sunuyorum. Kıymetli hocam. Sizi görmek çok güzel. Tekrar görüşmek üzere hocam. Duygu hocam.
Sağ olun. Now the opening session has been completed. It's my honor to introduce to all of these enlightening speakers in opening ceremony. And I wish you all the best. Thanks for you all speakers and audience attending the opening ceremony. I hope this Congress will make important contributions to science like the previous ones and I will guide the business world, and it will guide the business world in the light of useful insight. And let's move on to keynote speaker sessions. And the moderator of the keynote session is Dr. Ray T.Y. Phayap University from Thailand. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Duigu. Thank you very much.
Nice pronunciation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Ray of Phayap University in Thailand, and I am very delighted to moderate this session right now on the keynote speakers. And I call this keynote session in order. So today we gather here through the Zoom platform, and we will listen to the keynote speeches. Before we begin, please ensure that your audio is muted, and if you have any technical issues, please use the chat box to notify the technical support team. Thank you. Right now, I have the pleasure to introduce our first speaker. I love listening to her every year during the different conferences. This is Professor Dr. Siham El-Kafafi, Director of Arrows Research Consultancy in New Zealand. You have the floor.
Thank you very, very much for your kind introduction. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to be again with you here today with the CEO Congress. Wish success after success. Thanks for Kareem, thanks for Professor Karadal, thanks for the committee, the organizers, the moderators, the hosting university, Acacia University for this year. Thanks for all my colleagues. Thanks for all the participants. It's a joy and a pleasure to be with you here today. I would like please to share with you my PowerPoint. If possible, it is disabled. Can you kindly enable it? Thank you.
I think you can share, dear Siham. Can you try it?
It says host disabled participant screen sharing. Yes, it's still.
Can you try it again now?
Okay. Yes. Magic. Your magical touch, Kareem. Thank you very, very much for your magical touch. Okay. So the topic that I'm going to share with you today is about actually the advantages of mentorship and its importance for organization and how it fosters innovation and creativity in the workplace. And this is going to be my agenda for today. So I'm going to be introducing the topic, the methodology, the research questions, and then, yes, I will talk about what is mentorship in the workplace, the pillars, the main types briefly, and then I'll provide examples from global companies and also some from New Zealand companies, and then the findings and the conclusion. So, I mean, in order for us, as we have been talking previous people about the importance of the technology, the importance of innovation, where we're heading, AI, ChatGPT, all the things that has been happening in the workplace. So it is very important that we actually foster growth, foster innovation, and support our employees, and what is best by employee mentorship programs. And these employee mentorship programs can provide guidance, support, and knowledge transfer to empower the creativity and the innovation for the employees, and to also help them to take risks. So here I am going to be tracing with you this mentorship programs and how it affects organizations, especially for their competitiveness and growth. So I used qualitative systematic review. My two research questions are, what are the advantages of organizational mentorship programs on employee performance? And does a mentorship programs in the workplace foster employees' innovativeness and creativity? So starting, we need to find what's the definition of mentorship. It's defined as it's a learning partnership between employees for the purpose of sharing technical information, institutional knowledge, depth and insight on different parts of the business, on occupation, or also in organizational endeavors. So if this process is done correctly, the organization will reduce the turnover and increase its productivity. Mentoring also practices differ with other developmental relationships. So we need to look at the differences between supervision leadership. In my paper, I actually talk about the differences between teaching, between coaching, and between mentorship. But this is just a snippet of what is in the research paper. So what are the key aspects of mentorship? It actually provides guidance and support. It provides more insight and depth in the industry, the company culture, and the career development. It also helps the skill development of the employees. It enables them to be able to have problem solving, learn new technologies, and enhance their skills in different fields where required. It also helps them for their career development. So it is important for both the employees and also for the organization, and provides opportunities. So it is win-win for both parties, or everybody included. It also provides opportunities for employees to network and to make connections in their industry, to have opportunities to work and collaborate together. And also it provides feedback and accountability. As we all know, feedback is extremely important. We need to know where we stand, where are we heading, and for the sake of continuous improvement and growth. So mentorship provides that too. It also provides emotional support. So when people are engaged, they're collaborating, working together, and this emotional support provides them with the opportunity to be able to meet their requirements, and also encourage them during any challenging times by giving them resilience. It's also a means of knowledge transfer between the mentors and the mentees, the experts and the people who need to develop their expertise in any specific area. So there's the research that has been conducted and saying that mentorship, in order to have it successful and fruitful for all parties, there are important pillars. And the first one that we need to look at is actually the partnership matching. So it is extremely important when you are choosing your mentor and mentees, and within organization, your program, the mentorship program, and how you are matching them together in order to help each other. So for example, if you want to improve you are an engineer and you want to improve your communication skills, you cannot have a mentor who has exactly the same expertise like you. Maybe somebody who is better in their communication skills. You already know engineering, the other person knows engineering. So you need to have a close eye with whom you are matching the mentor and the mentee. The other thing is also the partnership and the training. So it is very important that at the beginning, when you start this mentorship training program, that it's clear, it is open, it's honest, everybody knows when they are meeting, where they are meeting, for how long, and all the responsibilities. And also the partnership coaching in order to help them to get to know each other and to do the training and how they are going to be partnered together. And also the content. Content is extremely important, and that can happen one-on-one or through workshops so that everybody within the program would be engaged. There are different types of a mentorship, as you can see. I'm sure some of you would be familiar with some of them, like the traditional one-on-one. Also, there is the reverse mentoring, which is you can have a less experienced mentoring an experienced person, but that young mentor actually can teach the other experienced one, like social media, like in technology, in other skills that is required for them. That's why it's called reversed. There's the group mentoring. You have one mentor for the group, and this is to encourage collaboration and teamwork. The virtual mentoring, right now, especially after COVID, and everybody is using technology as we are doing tonight. There is also virtual mentoring. There is peer mentoring, which is people at the same level. They are collaborating and working with each other. There is flash mentoring, which is a quick one-off in order to pick up on a specific required skill with no commitment for a long time relationship. There's also team mentoring. The slight difference between the team mentoring and the group mentoring is that in the team mentoring, there is more than one mentor. So people are working in teams together, collaborating and sharing with each other. So this research actually has been done by Fortune 500 companies, and it demonstrates the importance of the difference between how satisfied the employees are if we are going to look at the ones who have got mentors versus the ones who do not have mentors. And you can see the darker bars that demonstrates that there is a better, higher level, a percentage for the ones who have got sponsors, have got mentors, than the ones who do not have it in delivering projects, in talents, in helping colleagues and working together in professionalism, as you can see. That figure shows also the impact of the satisfaction and the difference between the employees who are mentored versus the ones who are not mentored. And you can see the light blue bars is a lot higher. And actually that helps to minimize from the high turnover numbers within organizations. So as I mentioned to you, I am going to share with you some of the examples of the global organizations that has been using the mentorship programs in order to incorporate and assist their employees to become creative and innovative. On top of them, of course, is Google, who has got a program called Engineer Edu, and this is especially for engineers in order to allow those junior engineers to learn from more experienced and professional engineers to foster innovation. They also have another program called Computer Science Research Mentorship, which is actually to facilitate the historical and minimize from the marginalizational groups in especially the computing science field. The other company is Microsoft. They have a program called Mentor Makers. It also focuses in innovation and entrepreneurship, and it is a movement to inspire and engage entrepreneurs across all industries, geographies, and backgrounds. ADUP has got a program called Kickbox, and it's also designed to promote innovation, entrepreneurship among its employees and this is through all the processes in their organization. Intel, they have also a program called Innovation Mentoring, and it aims to cultivate a culture of innovation and collaboration within the organization. Here in New Zealand, I chose to share with you 3 examples. On top of them is Fonterra. Fonterra is a huge, humongous dairy cooperative that we export of the milk, the cheese, and I believe that everybody knows about the quality of our milk and cheese here in New Zealand. And they are also implementing a mentorship program to encourage innovation in the workplace. I believe that they use what we call the reverse mentoring model, because they are parting experienced employees with younger aspiring talent across different departments and levels. The second one is called Xero, and this is a cloud-based accounting software company, and they are using their mentoring program is called Xero Mentors, and they are also fostering the innovation within their systems in the organization and providing the platform for their employees to play around with new ideas in order to unlock their potential and to drive positive change within the organization. The third and last organization is Spark New Zealand. This is our biggest telecommunication and digital services company. And also they have a program called Ignite. And this is encouraging employees to think disruptively, explore new opportunities and embrace innovative ideas. So the findings of the research found that there is actually a positive correlation between the workplace mentorship and its impact on the employees to foster creativity and innovation. And this is some of the findings. It helps to enhance their skill development in order to be able to approach positively the work challenges. It also increases their self-confidence and self-efficacy, and that provides them with ability to try new creative ideas without fear of failure. It also fosters the knowledge transfer across the mentors and the mentees and the employees. It helps the collaboration and the networking in order to develop new ideas and challenge assumptions and find solutions. Also, it supports risk-taking and failure resilience, which is a wonderful mindset in order to promote innovation and creativity. It also increases motivation and engagement across the organization. So in conclusion, the effectiveness of the workplace mentorship programs can vary depending on various factors, like the quality of the mentor-mentee relationships, the organizational culture, and the structure of the program itself. Overall, the research suggests that mentorship positively influences employees' innovation and creativity by providing guidance, support, opportunities for growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siham El-Kafafi. I always learn so much. And in this presentation, you presented different models of mentoring, as well as a lot of case studies from which we can learn. And we'd like to appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. You can read, actually, that's very abbreviated. The paper is more detailed.
We hope
Thank
to
you.
be
Thank
able
you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right
God bless
now,
you.
I'd like to call on Professor Dr. Hernan Gil Forleo from Universidad de Buenos Aires in Argentina.
Hello, Siham. Nice to meet you, to hear you again. It's a pleasure. Good morning, all. Thank you very much for inviting me again to the CEO Congress, especially to Professor Karim Karandal. In this speech, we will talk about our work in progress. It studies the hyperinflationary processes in Argentina. The first question is, what was the Argentine hyperinflation in 1989? The Argentine hyperinflation can be superficially described as a violent increase in prices, which underwent a growing acceleration until the moment when it was found to break the trend. It began in February 1989 and continued until July of the same year, when it reached its peak of 194% monthly inflation. Hyperinflation was not a monetary phenomenon. It did not happen because the radical government issued a lot of money, because the public deficit was huge and out of control due to political measures. Hyperinflation, on the other hand, must be explained by observing the centrality of the evolution of the dollar in those months of 1989. The profound tensions in the Argentine economic structure and its superior commercial and financial ties with the central country converge of the dollar. The central element transfers the analysis of the crisis from a monetary approach detached from structural reality. An explanation that accounts for the dilemmas and the problem that the Argentine economy faces from the serious situation bequeathed by the civic military regime that preceded the government, democratic. The value of the dollar in local currency suffered a strong increase throughout those 6 months, and the price of goods and services tended to reproduce with increasing accuracy the increase in the foreign currency. The panorama of uncontrolled prices, which grew without being linked to the demand of the consumption capacity of the population, could not be understood without the leadership of a rapid increase in foreign currency. So, two processes must be explained: the exponential rise of the dollar during the first months of the year, the bullish leadership of the foreign currency over domestic price in an increasingly adjusted manner. The rise in the dollar is explained by the dramatic imbalances that was generated between the supply and demand of the currency at the beginning of 1989. The imbalance was latent during the previous years and exploded in the first week of February, while the supply of dollar in the exchange market became almost nil. The traditional spirit providers stopped liquidating foreign currency. The demand for the currency acquired completely excessive characteristics since the habitual demand for dollar to carry out commercial transactions, tourists, or remittances abroad was drastically increased by the demand for hoarding of the entire population due to the social fear generated by the spectacular devaluation of the local currency at the constant appreciation of the dollar. The second question is, why was this expectation generated in relation to the moment of the dollar? It was a combination of objective facts, the absence of sufficient dollars in relation to the demand, and subjective, the behavior of private actors who refused to sell the foreign currency they obtained through exports, plus the alarming rumors that circulated so much both in the media and on the street, in addition to the precaution and custom incorporated by the population in other previous exchange crises that have been repeated in the country. But the background was deeper. A new episode of strangulation of the external sector of the economy was taking place. In this episode, the country found that it suddenly lacked the necessary foreign exchange to import the necessary inputs to keep its productive apparatus running, or to provide the population with the usual consumer goods. The structural basis of the strangulation, it can be summarized as: first, low export capacity of the Argentine economy, given the insufficient export capacity of part of the Argentine industry and the very bad currency prices of the most traditional agricultural export. Those prices were among the lowest in the 20th century on the world market and generated an additional restriction of the already reduced level exports. Argentina's low exportable supply in relation to the country's foreign exchange need was further highlighted by the high outlay caused by foreign debt servicing. Second, extremely high external indebtedness caused by the neoliberal policies of the civic monetary dictatorship, which not only conditioned the public account, diverting almost 20% of the national budget toward the payment of external commitments, but also made an enormous mass of dollar that added to the normal demand for currencies, causing permanent upward pressures of the dollar. Third, structural weakness of the national state, both in terms of tax collection and custom control of import and export. This weakness led to not being able to adequately control external transactions, and even less to collect the dollar corresponding to the taxes established in cross-state operations. We must remember in this system to the imprecise numbers of external indebtedness bequeathed by the dictatorship were never duly investigated by the democratic government, or being the condition established by the IMF to proceed with the rescue of the Argentine debt. The second question is, rational agents are or political economic actors. Based on the assumption that the government lacked sufficient reserves to intervene and sustain the official price, the private sector began a bid that led the government to the need to introduce a ban of free dollar, in which the operation for hoarding were transacted, and which quickly assumed at higher level than the official dollar for import and export. While the greed to buy dollars spread progressively to increasing broad or poorer population strata, the country's main exporting companies, except for public ones, such oil and steel, stopped the liquidation of foreign currency, which generated an exchange shortage, growing contribution to a rapid acceleration of the rise of the free dollar. Why did most exporting stop selling dollar? Conventional economic theory teaches that economic actors are rational and they make their decision mechanically to maximize their profits, without considering another factor. In this case, the approach will explain that when the exporting companies calculate that the dollar would continue to rise, they decide to wait to sell the currencies obtained abroad at the high possible price. In this way, they contribute to increase an exchange imbalances, and the expected upward effect was verified. Other interpretations originating in the political partisan sphere have instead that there was some form of conspiracy among big businessmen, which constituted a truly destabilizing political event, a market coup. The concentrated economic agents here in Argentina, aware of their power, decided to exercise to discipline the majority political party and impose their own rules of the game of them. However, another explanation can be formulated. It is evident that a political and economic scenario as complex as the one exciting at the beginning of 1989 cannot be built voluntarily by any economic actor unless it is all-powerful. But at the same time, the lack of foreign currency could not fail to grant power to the few social actors, a reducing oligopoly of the foreign currency supply that could have access to dollar. Once the scenario of extreme scarcity and currency runs has been created, the power is held by whoever can supply the scarce good. Additionally, the government was very weak after the troubled 5-year administration, in which it faced all kinds of economic, military, and political setbacks. It was not a government that could or was willing to confront, intimidate, or condition the handful of export companies that could supply the foreign exchange. Most of the population in general was totally unaware of what was happening, and the big political parties were far from providing a crude and realistic explanation of the situation, since it implied the denunciation of existing economic power. The large exporting companies understood that the power, the structural situation, and international political situation have placed in their hands, and they proceed to pursue the political system to obtain measures in their favor, which were uprooted over the weeks following the weak-headed radical government. But they achieved something even better, to condition the future government elected in mid-May during the hyperinflation and make them feel the capacity to generate economic and social chaos to the extent that their demands were not adequately addressed. The fourth question is, why did prices follow the dollars? When the price of the dollars soared at the beginning of 1989, the first reaction of the companies was not calculate their price, transferring the increasing cost caused by the rise in the dollar. But when this process speeded up and became unpredictable, many companies directly set their final prices in dollars, regardless of the impact of the devaluation cost. The danger of decapitalization, that is, of the not being able to replace the merchandise that had been sold since the new prices of the inputs exceed the final prices of what had already been sold, generated pressure to take refuge in an accounting in dollars to avoid this evil, although in fact it would imply a dramatic fall in the possibility of selling the production of goods in stock. In fact, many companies chose the close in the middle of the year to avoid decapitalization. The fifth and last question is, how was hyperinflation stopped? In July 1989, hyperinflation is stopped. A few weeks early, the slowdown in the rise of the dollar had already begun, and a greater offer has appeared in the local market. The President of the nation had to resign that month to cede his position to the new elected president, who in turn ceded the Ministry of Economy to one of the main export groups in Argentina, the Bunge conglomerate. The rebranding process continued intensely that month, almost tripling the prices at the end of June. The inflationary blow was enormous in the pocket of population, which began to recover progressively in the following months. The government managed to prevent an abrupt attempt to control hyperinflation via rigid monetary restriction from leading to widespread bankruptcy of companies and massive unemployment. But it could not stop to growing social violence and looting that began in the poorest neighborhoods of the country, which led to the resignation of the president. Already in possession of the main economic spring, the local business elite temporarily abandoned the stabilization strategy via dollar prices, although two new episodes, one at the end of 1989 and other at the beginning of 1981, has similar characteristics, also short. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias. I'd like
¿Hablas
to thank
español? ¿Hablas español?
Claro.
Bueno, un gusto saludarte y muchas gracias por speaking Spanish with me, por hablar español conmigo. Es un gusto.
De nada. So we learned a lot from Professor Dr. Hernan's presentation about economic crisis, which affects not only Argentina, but the world, and issues involving foreign exchange, consumer ability for consumption, problems with imports and exports, the role of IMF, neoliberalism, and the role of dictatorship. And Argentina had gone through a lot of inflation and the devaluing of the currency. So this is a common feature in many countries of the global south. So it's good, perhaps many would want to co-author with Don Senor, el Professor Dr. Hernan Gil on this matter. So te doy gracias. So thank you very much for your
You're welcome. De nada, it was a pleasure, ha sido un gusto y bueno, muchas gracias to Kerim Carandal. Gracias, thank you Kerim for inviting me again. Nice to meet you, see you again, Siham.
Thank you. Now
It's a pleasure to see you, thank you.
Now I'd like to present the next speaker, Carles Agustí Hernandez, from the International Governance Consultant and SDG Manager from Barcelona, España. So we move from Turkey to New Zealand to Argentina, now to España. We're back to Europe. So it's a truly global conference.
Sure. Thank you for your presentation. I'm going to share a quick presentation. Sorry.
Kerim, could you let Carles? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Are you watching my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, thank you for all. Thank you for invitation, especially to Dr. Kerim Carandal. It's my third participation in this CEO Congress, where I expose you different visions about governance. That is my specialty. Governance is a big field with different points inside. Now I'm going to talk about sustainability, especially the benefits of sustainability for companies and the situation of implementation of SDG in Spain, because I have done for ESADE Business School one survey in Spanish companies about this issue. First of all, I want to remark the flexibility and the success of SDG United Nations strategy. It's not easy from United Nations arrive to all governments and companies and all institutions in the planet. So it's really a success. We have to fight a lot against climate change during years, but the strategy is a success. And it is a success because of different issues, but especially flexibility. Come from United Nations to continental governments, from continental governments to state governments, local governments, companies, institutions, and even the individual. SDG are so flexible that every one of us can study the 169 goals inside the 17 SDGs, studying which of them we are applying. Obviously, we have to select the ones that affect the individual, but when we select these ones, we can measure our environmental footprint. So, from United Nations to the individual, this is the flexibility of SDGs. And the other way of flexibility is the interpretation of these goals. These 169 goals are done by more than 200 countries negotiating, etc. So are complex goals, but you can interpret them, translate them to the reality of your country and apply with flexibility these different goals. And going to the companies, which are the benefits for companies to implement SDG? First of all, is a moral obligation for everybody, is a everyday more a legal obligation, is responsibility of all of us the fight against climate change, is not only for public sector, is for companies, is for institutions, and have benefits. In company language that always found benefits, the SDG are really important in this sense. It's like digitization. You have to go, you must go. If you don't go, in some years you have to go with expensive investments and with more difficulties. But for maybe for a non-believer in climate change CEO of a company, or a company that really don't believe or don't have sustainability strategy, what can I say? I say that this, if you implement a sustainability strategy, you improve your brand as company. Why? Because society is more and more sensitive to sustainability and fight against climate change, especially young generations. Young generations are really, especially in, I know, especially Europe, really sensitive with sustainability. So the market see better a company with a sustainability strategy than one that not. So it's not only brand, you sell more if you have sustainability strategy. Obviously, it's reputation, a better reputation for your company if you implement this kind of strategies. Better situation against your competence. If your competitor have no sustainability strategy and you, yes, or you are better than your competitor, you have more possibilities to sell and to arrive better to the market. Another thing is the derivative obligation. If you don't believe, you must go, because every day more, if you want to collaborate with public sector, but your providers, your ecosystem of companies want every day more than you accomplish with sustainability parameters. So you have a derivative obligation if you want to have relation with other companies, with public sector, you must accomplish these parameters. Finally, SDG arrived to revolutionate CSR policies. CSR policies arrived 10, 15 years ago, but maybe their implementation is slow last years. There are no innovation inside CSR. So SDG arrived to revolutionate really CSR. This survey that I explained you, just 2 slides to see them, is a survey done to 3,000 companies in Spain for ESADE Business School. You have a representation of the SDGs that Spanish companies accomplish better in the 3 dimensions of SDG: economical one, social one, and environmental one. The first one is economical. SDG, especially 12 and also 8 and 9, there are the more accomplished SDG. There are the SDGs that Spanish companies center to accomplish. In social dimension, CSR, not so developed in companies, but 5 and 3 are the more developers. And finally, in environmental dimension, especially energy is the problem, one of the problems of the world, of Europe, and 7 is the first of the SDGs, followed by 6 and 13 in the accomplishment. Finally, I give some recommendations in this survey for companies in just 1-2 minutes. First of all, for companies, these 10 recommendations. First of all, benchmarking. Where are you in comparison with your competitors in your sector? Second, you need real alignment, not alignment of voice, real alignment. So accomplishing all these goals that affect you for the company, the kind of company that you are, your vision, mission, values, etc., give you the goals that you have to accomplish. It's complex to explain in 10 minutes. Third, of course, a strategy. If you have 1 and 2, you can develop a strategy with this information. Governance, you have to organize the governance of your company. Certifications are good. Always is good when some expert from outside come to your company to say that you are doing well the things. 6 and 7 is communication. You have to positioning your company, to communicate your wins in sustainability. Of course, if you have this added value, you have to communicate. 8 is CSR revolution, and 9 and 10 is sensibility and internalization in your company of these strategies. It's not okay if only the direction committee apply and believe in that. You have to explain, you have to train, you have to internalize to all your workers the importance of sustainability strategy and which kind of sustainability strategy are you implementing in your company. Thank you for all for this new opportunity in this CEO Congress.
Thank you very much. Gracias, Carles.
Teacher, I have a question to Carles, is possible?
Yes.
Well,
I don't know. I am at your disposition.
Hola, Carles. Salud. I will make a question for you. Buenas noches desde Buenos Aires a toda Catalonia. I see that in your presentation that you talk about the objectives of the Agenda of 2030. My question is, the firms in Barcelona and the Generalitat of Catalonia are adopting the agenda, this agenda, or only is adopted by the government of Catalonia?
Is in adoption. The difference is between big companies and small companies. I think you know that in Catalonia we have a lot of small companies. It's an ecosystem of small and medium companies.
An historical tradition of the small business.
An historical tradition of this country.
In Barcelona.
Yes, and in the rest of Spain, in Madrid, are big companies. The difference is that big companies have more resources, more knowledge, more human resources to apply it. So are more developed in this sustainability strategy. Okay, and small companies are in the beginning of this process of implementation. But the global answer to you is that yes, sustainability strategies arrive to companies because market, new generations especially, but the market, the society, every day more want that companies go there and in the market, affect the market. People buy products of sustainability companies and don't buy products of companies that don't believe in it. So it's a benefit for companies.
It's interesting that because in Catalonia have the leadership in small business enterprises to adopt the agenda to 2030. It's very interesting. There are always the people from Catalonia take the advances in technology and in knowledge and in management of the firms. Thank you very much. Bona nit.
Thank you. Bona nit, Buenos Aires.
Thank you very much for the question from Carles. We learned 4 major things. 1, the difficulty with which people are moving towards sustainable development goals. 2, there's a necessity to do it. 3, it's a revolution. And 4, Carles has very concrete 10 steps of recommendation from which we can adopt and learn. Let's show our appreciation to Carles from Catalonia. Viva Catalonia. So we will move.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
We will move from Catalonia to Asia. So we're really going around the world. Now I'd like to call on Dr. Dewi Paspaningtyas Faina, Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Bayangkara, Jakarta Raya. Ibu saya, Ibu di sini sudah.
Hi. Yes. Okay. Hi, how are you? Professor, I would like to share about the condition of the SDGs in Indonesia post-pandemic. So I would like to share screen with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
please. Give Dr. Dewi the right to co-host. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Dewi Paspaningtyas Faina, and I would like to share the SDGs condition post-pandemic Indonesia and how to survive with the conditions. There are several ways to fight or improve the SDGs in Indonesia post-pandemic. One is to enhance by enhancing awareness and in education and well, try to read it from the screen. Number 1 is by enhancing awareness, education, educating the populations about the SDGs and the importance, and of how crucial it is, and the public awareness campaigns, workshops, in educational program should be conducted to ensure the comprehensive and understanding among the citizens. And secondly, the strengthening the governance, ensuring that efficient governance and accountability is very essential for achieving the SDGs, and this includes promoting transparencies, reducing corruptions, and enhancing the participation of civil society organization in decision-making processes. And thirdly, investing in infrastructure and innovations by developing sustainable infrastructure, including reliable public transportation, renewable energy sources, and waste management systems. It is very essential. By encouraging innovations in technology and practices can also contribute to achieving the SDGs. Thirdly, promoting sustainability, agriculture, and biodiversity is in conservation. Indonesia is being an agrarian country, and promoting sustainable agriculture practices that can help achieve SDGs, encouraging the adoptions of the organic farming techniques, supporting small-scale farmers, and protecting natural habitats and biodiversity are very important steps. Fourthly, combating climate changes in Indonesia, we are facing significant challenges related to climate change, including deforestation, air pollution, natural disasters. By implementing strong environmental policies, promoting renewable energy sources, and tackling deforestation can very contribute to mitigating these challenges. And ensuring inclusive and quality education. The access to quality education is very vital for achieving many SDGs, because enhancing the quality of the human resources development are very, very vital by focusing on improving the accessibility, affordability, and quality of education, particularly in rural and remote areas. It can help uplift the education sectors and reduce inequalities. Next is by reducing poverty and inequality. Indonesia struggles with poverty and income inequality by implementing progressive economic policies, promoting job creations, improving social safety nets, and supporting equitable distribution of resources can contribute to poverty reductions and reducing inequality. Next is by strengthening gender equality. This is very important by giving the same equality and chances to all types of genders, by empowering women, promoting gender equality, and very crucial for sustainable development, because in Indonesia, 67% of the populations are women, and ensuring equal access to opportunities in education, employment, and decision-making positions can help achieve SDGs. Next, cooperating with international organizations, such as collaborations with the international organizations such as United Nations and other countries, can enhance knowledge sharing, capacity building, and resource mobilization for SDGs implementation in Indonesia. The last one is by monitoring and evaluations, regularly monitoring progress, identifying gaps, evaluating the effectiveness of strategies and programs are essentials to ensure the successful implementations of the SDGs in Indonesia. Well, thank you very much, Professor. That's it for me. I would like to give back the floor to you, Dr. Ati.
Yeah, terima kasih, Ibu Dr. Dewi. Excellent presentation. This is so much in line with what Carlos had said. Carlos ended with recommendation, and Dr. Dewi continued the recommendations. So if we're able to match the Catalonia recommendations with the Indonesian recommendation, it will be super, mega, hyper powerful. We put everything together for the actions. So
thank you very much, Dr. RT.
Sama-sama.
Sama-sama. You're great. You have a very good Indonesian's comprehension. Well, thank you very much.
Sedikit. Okay.
Sedikit.
So now we move from Indonesia back to Europe. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Dewi. We will now call on Professor Dr. Luis Miguel Cardoso from the Polytechnic Institute of Porto Alegre, Portugal. Don Señor Professor Dr. Luis, por favor.
Greetings from Portugal. Good morning, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be here with you, esteemed colleagues. So I would like to, first of all, thank the organizing committee. I would like to thank Professor Karim Karadal for his a very kind invitation to be here. And of course, I would like to congratulate all the previous speakers for their outstanding presentations. It's a great pleasure to be here. It's a great honor to be here to participate in this CEO Congress. It's a great platform for us to exchange possibilities regarding mindsets, frameworks, and guidelines regarding so many interesting topics for nowadays challenges regarding our common goals about development and sustainability. So, my dear friends, my dear colleagues, I would like to share a presentation regarding the topic that I chose for this conference. Can you please allow me to share the presentation, please?
It is allowed, sir.
Thank you. So, my dear friends, education and technology nowadays are full of common challenges and common horizons regarding 2030. And this is the most outstanding effort that we have to make nowadays in order to establish a route, to establish a pathway regarding these common challenges and these common horizons. So the best way to achieve all this is, of course, to connect. And this is why conferences like this one, platforms like this one are so important, to share best practices and to share ideas that can bring us together, that can create networking opportunities, that can create opportunities to go ahead with impressive new ideas regarding these challenges and horizons. So I'm sure we all agree that we are living the dawn of this very challenging 21st century, challenging in different ways that of course include the nature of the pillars that are now sustaining modern society, namely all the changes that we are facing about information and communication technologies. So this is all about the possibilities that we now have regarding the huge flood of information that every day comes to our houses, that every day comes to our schools, to our universities, and we have to cope with all this. So when you think about the complexity of our society nowadays, when you think about how heterogeneous we are living in a world that is constantly changing, in a world that has different social relations, then we have to understand that we need a common basis regarding 2030. We truly need to understand what are our priorities. We need to understand what are our key guidelines. We need to understand what are our key frameworks. So as I was saying, we have an endless flow of information that is being transmitted by different channels, by different platforms. So this is why 21st century is most of all connected with digital empowerment, digital enhancement, and the possibility to give our students the ability to create their own path regarding the discovery of these digital tools. So we have an urgent need for education and pedagogy to cope with these transformations, my dear friends. So this is why Horizon 2030 is our new and common focus. And of course, when we think, for example, about a lot of efforts that are being made nowadays, just highlighting a few, for example, the European Union has placed the focus of the teaching learning process on the student. This is so-called the Bologna process. So this means that it's quite a revolution regarding teaching and learning methodologies, regarding pedagogical innovation and the way we address the syllabus in our classrooms. The second main guideline that I would like to share is, of course, we are now living in an age where acquisition of skills in an increasingly autonomous way is a major trend. And we have to favor all this regarding our students. And then, of course, we have to connect with everything that UNESCO has been creating, developing regarding EdTech, about the latest guidelines from the OECD, connecting our efforts with the SDG and mostly with quality education. And all this leads us to Horizon 2030. So Horizon 2030 is all about challenges, all about horizons, and of course, all about different types of learning strategies, a diversity of forms of learning challenges. For example, when we think about how important nowadays personalized teaching strategies are, when we think about we have to establish a collaborative teaching and informal teaching atmosphere in our schools, in our universities, when we think about the relevance and importance of problem-solving teaching and project work, when we think about encouraging communication, encouraging teamwork, when we think about motivating students, cultivating creativity and innovation, when we think about capitalizing on technological knowledge of students, developing activities that are closer to the real world. And of course, our universities have a priority that is to establish development paths regarding the community, regarding the region, regarding the countries. So all this is, of course, now being enhanced by the possibilities of EdTech, by the possibilities of new technologies, just like VR, AR, and AI. So now we're living the age of immersive learning strategies, and this is affecting the way we address curriculum, we address the needs of our students, the expectations of our students as well. And of course, we have to deal with skills about the needs from the labor market, for example. This is why metacognitive skills must be other forms of understanding how to create and establish these paths regarding the labor market. Because nowadays our teens, and I really like this expression, we have our teens on screens, and our teens are now connected with multiple devices at the same time. And they can be working and playing and having fun at the same time. And this is, of course, creating a new atmosphere of connectivity, a new atmosphere of connection with knowledge, with skills, with understanding the world that is all around our students. So this is why we need the literacies. So we need to enhance the possibility of our students to engage with skills, to engage with literacies, because literacies create opportunities for them to discover the world, to understand the world, to connect with information, to manage information, to select the proper information. And this is vital nowadays, my dear friends. So we also need to address another key element in this equation, that is the role of our teachers. And of course, 21st century teachers have to be profession, but they cannot be profession in every topic of the curriculum, in every topic regarding skills, in every literacy. But they have to become experts in figuring out, along with their students, how to do something, how to find out something, or how to use something to do something new. And now I'm quoting Bull and Gilbert. So how to do something new is the most important way we can address these challenges regarding 2030. So when we think about the 21st century teacher, of course, I think we all agree that this is a new teacher, a teacher with new values, with new qualities, with new skills. So this is a curious teacher. I really like this expression by Faulkner and Latham. So curious teachers who lead adventurous lives have developed resilience and are creative problem solvers. And they have to transmit this ability to their students so they can become problem solvers as well. And when we are aligned with these thoughts, when we are creating a connection between the syllabus, the degrees, and the labor market, then we are on track regarding our students' expectations on how to deliver all this to the labor market. Because we are truly facing unprecedented challenges regarding economy, regarding environment. We have social challenges. And of course, we are living a future and we cannot predict the future, obviously, but we have to be prepared. So we have to be prepared. Our students have to be prepared. Our universities have to evolve, have to adapt, have to be more flexible, and have to establish more connections with the real world, with the world of employment, with organizations, with enterprises. And we have to be ready for all this. Because skills, for example, by 2025 will be changing a lot from the port that we had, for example, 5 years ago. And the top 10 skills for 2025 will include, and I'm just highlighting the most important ones, analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, complex problem solving, critical thinking and analysis, creativity, originality, and initiative. So these skills are highly motivating our students to go ahead, to make the difference, not just for them, not just for their colleagues, but also in their communities. And this is vital for us all. So we have to establish this liaison between our goals in our universities and the development of our communities, the development of our countries, and international development as a whole project. And when we think about all this, the OECD Learning Framework for 2030 is a key element because it connects core foundations like literacy and numeracy, social and emotional health, digital literacy, data literacy, and this is a framework regarding the well-being by 2030. And we have here a very interesting metaphor. It is a compass. So each student has a compass that includes competencies, values, attitudes, and knowledge. And each student has its own compass. So one of our tasks is to give our students the ability to create to engage and to manage this personal perspective of this learning compass that includes not just knowledge, of course, but also skills, attitudes, and values. And this is a major difference, my friends. So when we connect knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values, I think we are living in the next level regarding 2030 challenges and regarding the flexibility and adaptability that must characterize our universities. So the future of education and skills 2030 reports, for example, on how curriculum redesign addresses 6 common policy issues. What students learn matters, so we have to establish what is a 21st century curriculum. We have to understand that sometimes curriculum has an overload of information, so we have to define priorities. We have to find equity through curriculum innovations. We have to establish curriculum flexibility and autonomy. Values and curriculum must be together. And we have to establish a so-called ecosystem approach to curriculum redesign and implementation. So to make this vision a reality, this creates, of course, a lot of changes regarding this mindset. So first of all stakeholders should constantly ask themselves, who is the curriculum for? And this curriculum, of course, is for our students. So we have to adapt and we have to create the most valuable curriculum that helps our students to engage with the labor market. Second, all stakeholders should understand that a curriculum is a living and evolving tool. And third, a curriculum, of course, leads us to establish change as a natural process. So we have to also understand that we need policies. We need our governments to understand that everything is changing. We have here a common horizon, and we have to draw a new path to achieve these common goals. So, my friends, the OECD Learning Framework 2030 is all about the recognition of this complexity. It is all about to understand how education and curriculum should be regarding this common goal. It's all about being inclusive. It's all about being multi-layered. It's all about being dynamic, holistic, and multi-directional. So this is a great effort, my dear friends. This is a great task that includes us all. And this task, of course, is leading us to new paths, is leading us to establish a common route regarding development, is guiding us to establish connections with other countries, with best practices, with researchers, with teachers, by creating opportunities. And networking is one of the most important words that we have in this 21st century. So again, this is why CEO, for example, is so important. This is why this conference is so important. This is why we can establish these connections here with different colleagues all around the world from different countries, because we all have a common goal, that is education for all, sustainability, and a common future. So my dear friends, my dear colleagues, thank you so much for paying attention for this presentation. And of course, I would like to thank our esteemed moderator and congratulate all the participants in this great platform. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Luis Miguel. And he was able to tie everything up. From the beginning, we heard Dr. Sihan catching up with technology. And right now, we have to deal with infotech, ICT, and which is also the call of Carles, that we must be able to catch up and revolutionize to be more inclusive, which is also the message of Dr. Dewi. So it's a wonderful synthesis of all of the calls. And this is through the OECD framework for 2030. Thank you so much, Dr. Cardoso.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're over time, so I hope Karim will allow us, since these are the keynote speakers. So we will now move on from one side of the Atlantic back to the other side of the Atlantic where we started. So I'd like to call on Dr. Maury Bond, the VP of Acacia University of the US of A. Welcome back.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This has been an incredible experience. This is my first time with CEO Congress, and it's been richly rewarding and very informative so far. And thank you all so much for your engaging discourse. I will say that I'll keep mine pretty short. I don't have a PowerPoint. I'd much rather, to my issues right now, is accreditation and what is the importance of accreditation and getting your university recognized in different parts of the world. My background in university administration is not only in the United States, but also in the Middle East and other parts of the world, and understanding how different markets operate in terms of getting your university programs recognized and accredited, both whether nationally or regionally here in the United States, and what are the challenges and obstacles that you might face. I come from brick and mortar. I was an assistant provost in the United States for a very traditional university system. We had several campuses, but it was face-to-face, right? It was a very traditional model. And so what we found was that, obviously post-COVID, the world is changing. And the opportunity to really engage in digital, whether that's online or whether that's in a hybrid format, what we found in my role with Acacia University is that we are now part of a larger parent company called Westford Education Group. And with, like I said, 15 higher education brands around the world, you're able to reach more people that are working professionals that can't stop and go to a college campus during the day. They don't have time with their busy schedules. And so identifying how to maintain high standards in terms of academic rigor, but also meeting the needs of the consumer, as you will. I mean, whether that's looking for what the industry needs or what that individual learner is looking for, trying to adapt to their circumstance is a very unique concept. And so having with universities in the UK, the standards are very strong there. Also in Europe, in UAE as well, we have universities, and in the US, very different markets, right? And so we also learn how to operate in those markets, and not only in regulatory, but in terms of the curriculum. So all the things that you're talking about, whether that's curriculum development, industry engagement, sustainability, all these challenges come into the fore in understanding how your program is best suited in different markets. And so what I find is whether you're looking for education or business or technology, tech is not only an incredible field to get into in terms of the knowledge, but the actually delivery of the program. It's very innovative, looking at VR, looking at all these other AI and so many other solutions that will come to the fore in the future, understanding how to maintain that high standard, right? Because even now, post-COVID, a lot of these governments are wanting to go back. They don't trust, even now, they don't trust that online, right? They say, well, it's not the same standard. When in fact, it's the same professor that might have multiple university partners that he's working with and is providing the same delivery, the same content. But how do you break through that traditional model? And I think one thing that you can do is find government partners to deliver your programs within a government framework or within an industry framework, customizing an MBA, for instance, with energy or some sectors, identifying those, government, corporate, and other academic partnerships can allow you to meet the needs of governments, meet the needs of those accrediting bodies in ways that are effective. Our national accrediting body for our online university is Distance Education Accreditation Commission. But beyond national accreditation, I don't know if many of you are familiar with the United States, but regional is actually the higher standard. And that's rigorous. That takes several years to go through that process. And how do universities, that are pursuing regional, how do they achieve that objective, right? How do they have the type of quality content, the quality professors, the institutional, framework and systems available and ready. And that's kind of my background. I come from the traditional regionally accredited brick and mortar university and moving into an online environment, which I find much more engaging because you're reaching that student where they are. And so they're able to start, pause, or finish their degrees at times that fit their needs. And that goes against, the traditional face-to-face where you have to do, at certain times, have their programs. And so I enjoy the transition, I guess, to more of a digital play where you're really engaging more students, engaging more learners. And so I find that even within the online education space, you can maintain high standards. You don't have to give up quality for quantity in terms of the number of students you reach. And so finding that happy balance of making that investment to maintain high standards, but also reach more students has been richly rewarding for me. But you find yourself adapting to the challenges of the market. Online universities, even Harvard provides, Cornell, other universities that have these online platforms are having challenges getting into certain markets. So you can be Ivy League and you still have challenges if you don't offer face-to-face. And so that dynamic is still at play. You can have the highest academic standards, but the delivery model is still going through that learning process with government in different markets around the world. Here in the Middle East or in Europe, in the United States, other parts of the world, I find tremendous challenge. And so I would love to open it up to learn more about other experiences. I so appreciate the fact that we have people from different parts of the world. Finding that synergy, finding those partnerships between institutions, between governments, understanding the challenges and the nuances of how those programs are delivered, whether that's finding a training center where you can deliver those programs still online, but in a more of a hybrid format, or identifying ways to have international transfer agreements, transfer credit pathways, or student engagement, or faculty exchanges, or advanced research. There's so many different pathways that I think universities can really capitalize to reach those new markets, whether that's in Eastern Europe or other parts of the world. And so that's been a richly rewarding experience for me, moving from a traditional mindset to much more of a 21st century mindset, right? Where your programs have to be market relevant. You can't just offer all of the traditional, brick and mortar residential programs if they don't lead to skills that get jobs, right? It's much more of a sophisticated education consumer today. And so they're looking for skills that are market relevant, that can advance careers. And so looking for developing those programs that are much more engaged with industry, much more applied learning, if you will, using much more industry engagement. I think we have found tremendous success in achieving accreditation and recognition in those markets by utilizing the brain power of government, industry, academia, in a more collaborative, cooperative way, as opposed to a traditional silo effect where this department does this and this department does that. I think that's much more synergistic, much more collaborative, and it's much more effective in reaching new markets around the world. And that's my experience, and I'd like to open it up, if possible, to get some perspective from your all's experience, not only in accreditation, but also recognition in new international markets. So I would love to get some feedback from you all as well. And thank you again. This has been an amazing experience, and I look forward to more active engagement in the future.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bond, Dr. Maury Bond. We are 13 minutes over time. No, it's not Dr. Bond's fault. It's the dynamic presentation of everyone combined in. We have more people than time slot. And Dr. Bond is able to bridge the gap between the Middle East and the US, online and on-site education, and the synergy, and also showing us there are a lot of problems, including accreditation and others, but there are also possibilities. We need to meet the market needs, for instance, jobs. But there are some people like Elon Musk says, you don't need schools. It's a big dilemma. And maybe we'll go back to Dr. Siham's point. Maybe we need mentorship. But I'm just, opening a can of worms. Okay, thank you very much. And We will now go back to Asia. Dr. Firdaus Basmet of the Universitas Binawan, Indonesia. Thank you, Dr. Moribond.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, hello, greeting from Jakarta here afternoon. Assalamualaikum. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for Karim Karadal, Ibu Vivi, Ibu Amelia, and all management and friends in IPMI and CEO committee. So my name is Firdaus, and I will bring you to the next presentation of blue economy. Okay, so the topic is towards the equitable blue economy, the quadruple helix co-innovation for social entrepreneurship. So the first is an introduction to the sea of money color. Sorry. Okay, since 1957, the country of Indonesia paid attention to the maritime economy as an issue in the Juanda Declaration. It stated that in the building of the nation and the economy, it must be based on the potential and sovereignty of the archipelagic state. So the declaration reiterate that identity of Indonesia as the biggest archipelagic country. It has 70,508 islands, which all of its region rely on, are connected by the sea. So the Indonesian Sea covers 65% of the total area of Indonesia, with a total ocean area of about 6,400,000 kilometers square. And so the ocean is central of Indonesian prosperity through economic activities with 108,000 kilometers of coastline. Indonesia economy is worth over 265 billion, annually more than 1/4 of the national economy. So through the research, the various potential contained in the marine waters can be used for the national interest and public welfare. So we are an ocean. So inside that ocean is archipelago. It's not archipelago surrounded by the sea. Okay, so that's bring me to the term of blue economic, which is increasingly used as a national development framework. So by the definition, it's a systematic way of utilizing ocean resources by integration short and long-term economic activities based on the principle of social inclusion, environmental sustainability, and innovation on and around the sea. So Indonesia has modality of the world's second largest fishery sector. It's account for 20% of the GDP, 50% of the export in 2070. The ocean also offers biological component, such as seaweed farming that can be source of household income. So it is the second largest after China of the world seaweed. Then this is an example of a program by the academia. So many programs focus on the supporting seaweed farmers and sustain their daily livelihood, such as program for seaweed farming. It's used to be online. They put it in line on the rope, long line method, and now in the West Kupang, East Nusa Tenggara, they have a program called Kajarula to increase productivity by 2 to 3 times compared to the conventional method. Here is how the Kajarula, so the process of setting up seaweed and then tying the seaweed into the Kajarula and then transporting containing seed from the land to the boats, and then the process of tying. You need to the rise rope at the sea and it rising to the surface during weekly sample. So another innovation by academia is smart green lamp to attract and collect fishing using green color LED, because the fish are attracted to the green wavelength and then powered by the battery using the seawater. Is a renewable green energy. So this innovation is one of the winner matching fund by Ministry of Higher Education. And that's bring me to the design and implementation and fishery to practice sustainable management with the local community can create livelihood of the locals, fulfilling SDG number 1, no poverty, SDG number 2, the zero hunger, and then number 8, the decent work and economic growth. So, being the source of food and livelihood to sustainable portion of population have potential to achieve major sustainable goals of eliminating hunger and poverty. So, around 5 million fishermen live in the coastal area and rely on the ocean for income and nutrition. However, this is a problem that we have around our phenomena that these communities are amongst the country's poorest. So for blue economy to be a truly useful approach, we argue that social benefit and equity must be explicitly prioritized alongside the environmental and economic concerns. So the greening the blue economy is necessary to achieve socially equitable blue economy. So instead of using the three triangle, the triple bottom line, the environmental, economic, and social, with partnership among them, so we use the new triple bottom line, which is environment as the leader and is outside the outer layer, and then coming up society, that society cannot be more than environment, and that economy is just an engine that runs society. So the higher the social equality and environment, the higher the blue economy will be achieved. So we cannot work in silo anymore. Academia and industry or citizen or government public, we should come together using the quadruple helix innovation that bring all together into one. So drive by quad helix innovation to improve the livelihood of the coastal community. So among that 4 or quadruple innovation, we can interact together. For example, the financing from government, and then the industry will give entrepreneurial venturing. Academia will support with R&D education, incubator and spin-off, and also the civil society. They have to be empowered to collaborate and to have a development, community development. This is the list that we identify what to do for university, what they can do, industry, community, and government all together to support the social entrepreneurship or cooperative in coastal villages. So cooperative is a collection of people working together in common good. So it is not new in Indonesia because we have a law number 12 and Indonesian Cooperative of People Economic Organization consists of people and arrangement as joint effort based on the principle of kinship, and then have a goal for the benefit of the membership. And also we have a fisherman economic law that concerning the protection and empowerment of fishermen, fish farmer, and salt farmer. So from there we go to the theory that underpin our research. It said that unlike in coastal area of the northern Java Island, the cooperative is a common practice of the community. The cooperative development in the island outside Java is rarely exists. So the success of the cooperation depend heavily on perception and readiness of the local community. So furthermore, community support, development, and the sustainability are contingent upon how local residents perceive the benefit on their communities. Then we go to the social exchange theory as our underpin theory. It said that according to the social exchange theory, humans weigh the cost against benefit while forming the relationship. Then it says that human either negotiated or reciprocal in the nature. Negotiated exchange require process to reach agreement. On the other hand, the reciprocal exchange are effort performed for the purpose of benefiting another party. Then this form of reciprocal exchange generates interdependence between the involved parties, which offer the promise of high quality, lasting relationship between them. So starting from the literature review, we create a framework with the dependent variable is community development, community support for social entrepreneurship will be influenced by community perceived benefit, and then it's also influenced by quadruple helix co-innovation, and it's depend on the cooperative readiness level of the community. So as a moderator, so we develop the hypothesis. We have 3 hypotheses and test it into the real life. So the research objective is examine the effect of all the independent variable and dependent variable, and then whether or not the social entrepreneurship foster community development. So the method we employ quantitative research design using questionnaire, and then we sample from several villages in 10 villages in West Kupang, called Tablolong, Tesabela, Manulai, and then we use systematic sampling. We sample the first of it every 3 households and leading to the distribution of 260 questionnaire, and then we return. We have received 221 questionnaire. Then the result we analyzed using the PLSM, and as indicated by the p-values, all relationships are positive and give a strong effect on each other. Then based on that, the research finding, we found a significant and positive effect of community perceived benefit on support for cooperation, and significant positive effect of quadruple helix innovation on community perceived benefit. So we also found that cooperative readiness level moderates the relationship. However, the level is only 3 because it's an infancy level when the majority of residents are not involved in the cooperation yet. So the result also indicate that female residents tended to the higher value on perceived benefit of cooperation than their male counterparts. So our contribution to the theory that a social exchange theory has been widely criticized and incompleteness. Therefore, in acknowledging this criticism, we have applied a revised framework, and also the study provide preliminary framework intended to explore research and economic opportunity of ocean economic, bridging the green and the blue economy. So we created cooperative readiness level questionnaire also based on the literature review, and tested validity and reliability in 10 coastal villages in the Kupang, East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. So the research contribution of the coastal community have some important practical implication. Quad helix innovation should endeavor to improve the positive perception of the resident. Also that improving innovation should give economic benefit to residents. We envision further multiple social contribution, which is enhance the capacity through opportunity for value added to its product. Most of the fishermen, they don't know the upstream of the value chain. They don't have an access to the market. So with that quadruple helix actor, we hope that to increase better livelihood, food security, and health situation, skills, and employment. So the study recommend to explore aligning socio-environmental goal with coastal social entrepreneurship, smart innovation, and quadruple helix collaboration to promote pragmatic approach to meet Sustainable Development Goal. So with this, I say thank you very much. Tashakur Ederim, have a great and colorful conference like the ocean behind me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fidros. Thank you for this presentation. The only quantitative paper among the keynote speakers, which is not good or bad, it's just different. And just like Dr. Hernan, Dr. Fidros talk about the economy, but just like all the other papers of Carlos, Dr. Dewi, they talk about SDG. So there's a lot of commonalities in our discussion today, but to attain all of these goals, SDG goal, including would be through either education that we need to innovate, revolutionize, or through mentorship, as Dr. Siham mentioned, or both of the above. And we need cooperation in all of our work. Dr. Dewi mentioned, including women. Dr. Fidal said we should not forget the poorest of the poor. And we were told by Luis Cardoso not to forget education for all. So with this, I'd like to thank all of the presenters, my heartfelt appreciation to all of the presenters of this session. And I would like now to pass on the microphone, the Zoom microphone, to the next moderator, Associate Professor Dr. Anal Jyoti Basu, India. And I declare this a keynote session closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, very much. So, welcome to the guest speakers session. Very good afternoon from India, and very good morning to all my friends from Turkey, USA, and all the 30 countries, those who are participating in the 6th edition of the CEO Congress. I am Dr. Anal Jyoti Basu. I am the Associate Professor of Karnavati University, Gujarat, India. And my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the Turkey officials for holding such a marvelous international conference. And also, this is in the 6th edition, and it is running successfully for the 6th edition. I would also like to place my special gratitude to the management of the Acacia University, Acacia University, USA in this occasion. I will be moderating the total session for this. And today our guest speakers for the sessions are Associate Professor Dr. IR Emilia Naim Indraja, MBA Head of CSMSR, IPMI International Business School, Jakarta, Indonesia. Dr. Baharullah Safi, Vice President, International Acacia University, Arizona, USA. I think all of them are present. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we have Assistant Professor Dr. Sachin Gupta from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, India. And next we have Associate Professor Murtaza Hasanglu, Azerbaijan State Administration Academy, Azerbaijan.
Yes.
So with this, we are starting, and I request the guest speakers, please, actually we are running out of time, so make it by 15 minutes. This is my earnest request to all of you. Please try to make it by 15 minutes. So first of all, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Dr. Emilia Naim Indraja, MBA, Head of CSMR, IPMI International Business School, Jakarta, Indonesia, to please place your speech on this August occasion. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here as part of this
very beautiful gathering where we have even more than 30 countries present.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for Dr. Karadal and all these other colleagues from around the world. And I found this event to be very, very, meaningful, because we've been developing so many collaborative online international learning, which is going to be what I'm going to talk about. I will try to go very quickly, because I know that the time is now the problem, because we are running out of time. So I'll try to go very quickly with my sharing session, but I'll try to make it like in the form of just a storytelling. So I wonder whether you can see my PowerPoint here.
Yes, madam, it is visible.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
So basically what I want to share is about how we managed to have this during the COVID, that we are finding a way to overcome the problem by collaborative online international learning. Am I freezing here?
Yeah.
You are
Yes, can you-
freezing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll try to fix a little bit. Yeah, now can you see me?
You're still frozen.
Madam, you're frozen. You're frozen. Means your total pics are frozen.
Dear
And,
Amalia, if you want to share your presentation with me, I can open from our computer, main computer.
Oh, okay. How if I turn off my video? Probably that will help. You think it will be helping? Okay.
Turning off your video would help.
Oh, huh? Okay. Guess what? Moderator, can I just go next, because I need to fix this one first? I'm really sorry.
Okay. No issues. So can we have Baharullah Safi, Vice President, International Acacia University, Arizona, USA. Please, sir. Please come. Please place your presentation. Professor Baharullah Safi, are you there? Professor Baharullah Safi.
Actually, he is here.
I cannot see him actually. Let me see in the participant list.
Baharullah Safi, do you hear us?
Baharullah Safi, I can see you that you are in the participant list, but can you hear us? So just 1 minute, sir. Sachin sir, please, just 1 minute. Dr. Sachin Gupta, please. After this, I will call you. Please. So can we move to our third participant of this session? Dr. Sachin Gupta from Mohanlal Sukhadia University. Actually, we have lost connection with Dr. Baharullah Safi, the Vice President of International Acacia University. And so we are taking Assistant Professor Dr. Sachin Gupta of Mohanlal Sukhadia University. Please,
Thank
Dr.
you, sir.
Sachin. Yeah.
Am I audible to all of you?
Yeah. You are audible.
Okay. So my screen is visible. My PPT is visible to all of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is visible.
So thank you, sir. First of all, my heartiest congratulations to the organizers of CEO International Congress. From past 3 years, I am associated with CEO Congress, and many thanks to the organizers for inviting me Karim Karadel sir, who invited me as a keynote on a very important and pertinent topic, that is Skill India Local to Global. See, as we are from India, and the Skill India campaign aims to train over 40 crore people in different skills by 2025. So this kind of programs aims to enhance young people's perspective while pursuing jobs. So my humble submission is like we need such kind of talented scientists and entrepreneurs to make real progress initiative from several areas. So if we talk about in Indian context, nearly 40 skill development programs are implemented by 20 central ministries. These contributions almost about 55% of the skills achievements. So skills and knowledge are the driving forces of economic growth and social development for any country. And countries with higher levels and better standards of skills adjust more effectively to the challenges and opportunities in domestic and international job markets. And the objective of skill development is to create a workforce empowered with the necessary and continuously upgraded skills, knowledge, and internationally recognized qualifications to gain access to decent employment and ensure India's competitiveness in the dynamic global market, in the international market. So it aims at increasing the productivity, it aims increasing the employability of the workforce in context to wage, in context to self-employment, both in the organized and unorganized sectors. It seeks increased participation of youth, women, disabled and other disadvantaged sections of the society, and to synergize efforts of the various sectors and to reform the present system with the enhanced capability to adapt to the changing technologies and the labor market demands. So as we know that there is a VUCA market prevails nowadays, so challenging in the skilling and entrepreneurship landscape in the country, that is public perception that views skilling as the last option meant for those who have not been able to progress, opted out of the formal academic system. That is skill development programs, no doubt, of the government of India are spread across more than 20 ministries, 20 departments without any robust coordination and monitoring mechanism to ensure convergence. Multiplicity in assessment and certain certification system is there that leads to consistent outcome and cause various entrepreneurial inclusion of entrepreneurial activities among employees. So these are certain areas by which we can say that yes, National Skill Development Mission is quite necessary for entrepreneurs in India. The National Skill Development Mission was launched by the Prime Minister of India on 15 July 2015 on the occasion of World Youth Skill Day, and that aimed to create convergence and expedite cross-sectoral decisions through a high-powered decision-making framework. It is expected to converge, coordinate, implement and monitor skilling activities on pan-India basis. So the major contribution of the mission consists of a three-tier institutional structure where the functions of the bodies consist of providing policy directives and the guidance, reviewing, monitoring overall progress, and actual implementation in the line with the mission objectives. So such kind of skill development programs, such kind of skill development policies, such kind of skill development mission address the various measures, some of which are highlighted here, like change in social attitude to vocational training as a successful option, target awareness campaign, integration of skilling in formal school education, as well as certification diplomas from skill universities and community colleges, recognition of prior learning based off skills acquired through experiences which can be certified and built upon to improve employability, availability of quality faculty by making skill training a lucrative career with specialized institutes to train the trainers, easy availability of sector and location specific skills, demand and supply related information through a national portal, programs like Kisan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana can be leveraged by students to fund their training courses, proactive and regular involvement of industry in developing the curriculum in collaboration with the academia, providing opportunities for apprenticeship and deputy industry experts as part-time faculty, which is being addressed through industry partnership in sector skill council, industry recognition of certified skills, along with the willingness to pay a premium in recognition of better efficiency and productivity, leverage modern technology, including online courses, virtual classrooms, and animated content to ensure quality courses and faculty that are not restricted by geography. So in nutshell, I must say that yes, for sure, it is definitely going to be a positive foray to remove poverty and reducing unemployment in India on a large scale through such kind of skill development programs, and certificates are delivered to those who complete a particular skill or program, and these certifications are all accepted by public and private agencies and entities, including overseas organization. So Skill India Mission is a program designed for the entire nation. So this was my submission as my keynote. Many thanks to the organizers for inviting me as a keynote. So many thanks once again from India. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you very much, Professor Sachin Gupta from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, India. So is it possible that Assistant Professor Dr. Irimia Naim, can you
yes,
please,
please.
Okay.
Yes.
So please.
I will share again my presentation. I'm really sorry. You know the technology, right? I mean, sometimes rely on technology, but it happens. I just want to have a very quick presentation because I'm inviting every one of you, my colleagues from around the world. This is a new opportunity, collaborative online international learning together, which we call COIL. And then this is also about how the students will get all this sufficient skills to transition into the job market. At the same time, they will have an experiential learning that integrate SDGs, sustainability, and engagement with real business, and then also cross-cultural exposure. So in this opportunity, I would like to share in IPMI International Business School, we are having a class where we have at least 4 universities together. I will share the practical format is how we have in 5 weeks together from University of Guelph in Canada, University of Navarra in Spain, and we have also Dominican University in Chicago and IPMI International Business School. And what we are doing, we learn together in a Zoom where all the groups is the mix up between the 4 schools. So what we are doing is we have a discussion on the aim to flourish. This is, if you see, I don't know whether we can click it on because I have a problem with my computer, but this is actually a list of celebration business innovations for global good. This is how they are presenting more than 4,000 businesses around the world where they can make money by doing good things. So we have at least 370 stories published by our students from IPMI. Yeah. So this is increasing concern with soft skills, and how do we improve the soft skills by having this project. We had in winter 3 schools, and in fall 2022, we are doing it with 4 schools from Canada, Spain, Indonesia, and USA. So this is a very flourishing program because we can see here, please, if you can have your QR code, please go get our book. This is accessible for everyone around the world. This is the books created by us, the 4 faculty, and then the students from all these universities around the world after they have gone through the Aim to Flourish experiential learning. So what they do, they're actually, interviewing and then learning how businesses can support SDG while doing their business. So doing well by doing good. So if you click this link, it will go directly to this book, which is already published from Canada with ISBN, and it is showing all the students writing together You can imagine how this is so exciting because they meet new friends from the US, from Canada, from Spain, and they're actually talking about businesses that makes money by supporting the sustainable development goals. So they now realize that we don't have to choose. All this time people thought that if you want to do supporting the SDG, that means you have to sacrifice. You are going to lose money. But these businesses are radically innovating their business model as such. The more they do business, the more they do good. So please feel free. I will share to you the link later so you can enjoy the book. Yep. Now we go to the next literature review. So this is actually about the SDG again. If I turn on the movie, do you think you can see it? Can you see it? Can you see the movie?
Yes, we can.
But can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Your sound, yes.
Your sound, yes.
Injustice and inequality.
Now we are hearing it.
We cannot see the video, madam.
Oh, okay. So we just turn it off. All right. So we go on with the next slide. Yes, I'm just showing you how SDG is a very, very interesting, 17 goals altogether. And then we have to achieve it by 2030. And then we have to make sure all of our students understand how to reach this goal and how to do it. This is one of the DFING, creating a significant learning experience for enduring change. So by doing the COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning, we are doing this exactly how we learn how to learn and how we care for each other, because there are 4 universities together, how we increase our human dimension, how do we integrate, and how do we apply our knowledge in the real situation and have this significant learning. And so we also use the talks. This is all the cycle. So that's why we have the book. This is the result of the reflective observation. So what are the project definitions? These are 110 students from 4 institutions around the world. And then we met from this kind of a platform like CEO. So I'm giving you this idea. So who knows, maybe in the future, we from the faculty from around the world from CEO could also do a collaborative online international learning. So what are this cross-cultural experience? Students who are having such a maximum international exposure, their meetings were free format, so they are meeting to have to solve their weekly challenge, and they're learning SDGs in a very fun way. So this research is actually a case study, and then the finding, if you can see here, this is how we met in the Zoom. These are all the youngsters from around the world, those 110 students, and they were all giving us a 2 thumbs up, saying that they really love these activities. They would like to know and meet, they're meeting new friends. And then based on the research, even though the analysis is still ongoing, we are looking at the preliminary results that appear that there's an increase in student perception of their meaningful learnings in the humanistic dimension. So that is a very good news. And then we are learning also from the qualitative work that they are gaining so much in understanding the flourishing business. And one other thing, we are using technology. So this is how we present the findings of each group. So you can see this is the metaverse. And so because we are from 4 different universities around the world, so everyone is sharing their posters through this metaverse. So you can see that these are all my students' avatar, and then they were actually presenting in the metaverse, and it was really fun. So students, in conclusion, develop a more humanistic mindset after this activity, and then empirically observe that students enjoy communicating with the other students. So this is not just about assignments. Even after the assignments, they keep on, contacting each other, and they're having a really, wonderful time together. Now, the biggest challenge was not cultural difference. We thought it was cultural difference because the American with Indonesian, Eastern and Western, but it's not. The problem is the time zone difference. Yeah, and now students learn that sustainable innovations can be with the small, medium enterprise as well, and then everyone has a chance to support SDG. So basically, this is the conclusion, and what I would like to say to everyone, why don't we have this collaborative online international learning? I've been doing this with Professor Siham, and then meeting you all friends around the world in this CEO is a very good opportunity to develop some kind of a collaborative online international learning. Thank you very much. Greeting from IPMI International Business School. Come and visit us.
Okay, that was a really insightful from Dr. Amelia Naim. She has said that how the forces to drive, so how the students will have sufficient exposure, and she said mainly about the practical format that is described through 4 different countries like Canada, Spain, Indonesia, and USA, and how it increased the students' perception. Really, that's great. And now we will go to the next speaker. Actually, sir missed it. Now I would like to call Dr. Baharullah Safi, Vice President, International Acacia University, Arizona, USA. Sir, are you there now?
Yes, I'm there. Yes. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see my presentation also?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry. Actually, I was in the in the Friday prayer. So I'm Dr. Baharullah Safi, Vice President, International Acacia University, and we are very glad and happy to host 6th International CEO Congress. And it is our privilege that we see a great number of academicians and people from this industry, and we will continue support such missions and visions, and will continue support CEO Congress in the future events as well. Because I believe that coming to a platform like this is really great and outstanding, and it is really helping academicians from different parts of the world to share their thoughts and to share their ideas. And it helps the researchers and scholars to publish their papers in Scopus and Dick journals and in the best journals, and to understand their research abilities and to understand their research strength, and to know about different research abilities. Because if you see the scholars from one country may be different from the scholars in another country, or maybe the research facilities in one country may be different from another country. So connecting into a kind of this global platform from different countries, from different backgrounds, and from different universities is really, really useful. And we are very much proud of this, that we are host for this Congress. So I want to be very short and brief because I think there is a time constraint. So I will have a few highlights on importance of innovation and entrepreneurship and startups, because what I feel is this is something very much demand, and most of the universities are also focusing on the outcome of their courses that should generate entrepreneurship and startups journeys. Okay, I think yes. So very brief. So we know that what is entrepreneurship? Basically, let me just give me 1 minute. Let me keep it in a slide mode. Yeah. Just a second, please. Okay, so entrepreneurship is basically the key to innovation and productivity and a competition, because entrepreneurship is something that brings innovation, that brings productivity and effective competition. Because we see that today, even in the higher education industry, it is always supported and it's always appreciated that there should be an innovation and productivity and effective competition, because these three things can bring oriented results and can bring desired results. So that's how entrepreneurship is basically, if you are looking for a competition, if you are looking for productivity, if you are looking for innovation, this is the only way that one can follow and one can do that. And when a person realizes basically his or her ability or capacity to make something that can be either a service, that can be anything, that journey is called basically, that entire journey is called entrepreneurship. What is startup? Basically, a startup is basically a new business plus innovation plus technology plus passion is equal to startup. Anything, because today we see that countries are emerging as a largest hub for startups. Especially for an example, India is one of the biggest country and one of the biggest hub for startups, because so many startups are emerging from India. So similar in many other countries, startups are booming and startups are performing really good, and startups are very contributing to the economy of the that particular country. So anything which is not into anything which is not a new business, anything which is not an innovation, anything which is not technology, or which is passion is not there, we cannot call it startup. You may register a company and you call it a startup. That is fine, but practically that is nothing. You go and you make an application, you register an LLC or any other type of a company, maybe in your country or maybe virtually somewhere else, but that is not startup. Startup is when you are bringing a new idea, when you are bringing innovation, when you are bringing technology and passion, that will give you the idea of a startup. Any startup, having these 4 parameters, I'm very sure they are successful. What is the difference between business versus startup? A very good examples of 2 modules. For example, a Flipkart and Big Bazaar. Flipkart is basically like Amazon or like other online shopping app. It's mostly active in India. This is a startup idea. Big Bazaar is like a kind of hyper supermarkets. It's a business, because in the business you need lots of resources, you need infrastructures, you need lots of people, technology, many other things. But when it comes to startups, startups required only a great idea. With the minimum resources, you can be something, you can create a very big business. So that is how the startup and business always, differentiate in terms of this. So startups always a successful startup is something that is more based on innovation and technology and saving resources and is more sustainable. If you see Flipkart is an online platform to do shopping, it's more sustainable. You need less people, you need less resources, you need less infrastructure. So it's more sustainable also. Another example can be Uber versus this another taxi cab. So many more examples are like that. So what is innovation? Basically, innovation is a specific tool of entrepreneurship. Innovation is anything that can exploit change as an opportunity for a different business, or it can be a completely existing business. Anything, for an example, it can be like if you see the journey of mobile phones, like we have innovations every year. We have innovations like you see Apple or iPhone, like first generation, now it's iPhone 14, or if you see Nokia or Samsung or any other technology company, you can see that existing product has been innovated, existing product has been changed with more, different features, with different, like operational functionals that brings more services or more, usage to the customers. So as an entrepreneur, you need to see that your innovation should exploit that, a change of an opportunity. Your innovation should be something that should bring something to the society or to the customer or to the end user. That is very, very important. If you have an innovation, I have an innovation which is not useful, so that is useless. Innovation is always important, and it is always accepted when it brings some changes, a practical change. Why innovation is important? There are many reasons. It can be to survive adverse change in operation circumstances, to make life easier for their customers and help them improve their businesses. Like many government functions are now innovated. Like you used to be physically, you used to visit a government office. Now most of the applications and most of the registrations are online. To gain competitive advantages, like lots of companies are coming up with online payment, online shopping portal. They are physically, they have physical existence, and they are also having online existence. To protect market share, it's very, very important to reposition an organization and raise its market profile, to lead the market and reinforce reputation as market leader, to open new horizons so as to get out of any rut or revenues with potential benefits. So these are some reasons that companies or startups are always looking after innovations. Because if you will not keep innovation, you will be nowhere in the market. In order to sustain your business in the market, you should always look after innovation. These are some more reasons: to reduce competition and or influences of competitors, to stimulate staff with the interesting and challenging work. If you have innovation in your company, your employees or your staff will be also interested to stay with you and to continue working with you, because they will always feel challenging. They will always feel that they have something to learn, new things. To attract and retain higher caliber of staff. Always people like to work in Facebook, people like to work in Google, people like to work in these big companies because they are more innovative. They are always coming with new technologies and with new initiatives. To provide stability for the workforce, to encourage those with good ideas to approach the company. Always people with the good ideas, innovative ideas, they are always looking for companies where they promote innovation. To attract the alliance partners, to attract extra funding and raise margin and profitability. So these are some major reasons for innovations for startups and for the businesses that they do. Because if they don't do that, so one day or another, they will lose the market and they will lose their shares and they maybe have to exit the market. A good example of innovation can be like this. You can see it's a good example. You can read thousands of books in Kindle. You don't need to buy a book, or you don't need to, do anything. So it's a very simple, easy, very much, eye-friendly when it's protecting your eyes also. It's not like working like a computer, because computer has a kind of visualization and an effect. But the Kindle is very much friendly. Like you can read thousands of books you want. A good example can be like food. Like you used to go to, still we are going to bar, we are going to cafe to eat food. Our biggest innovation is like Food Panda, Zomato. Like we have many more in different countries. Like we have Noon in Middle East. You can order food, you can sit at home, you can enjoy whatever you like to eat. So it's innovation. So nobody was thinking of this. Nobody was thinking of this innovation 10, 20 years ago. So it's coming up. Another example, like online shopping. We used to go to supermarkets, buy products, spend lots of money, petrol, time, energy, even sometimes too hot to go out.
Excuse me, Mr. Wani, can you please mute your mic?
Yeah.
Mr. Wani, can you please mute your mic? It is disturbing.
So now you can sit at home and you can buy from these different online shopping apps like Flipkart, Myntra. Maybe in different countries there are different apps. So it's just an example. So these are innovations. So always innovations are welcome, and innovations are always there, appreciated by customers and by people. And even big and large organizations, universities, governments, even in the universities, there is a specific department of innovations where funding such kind of projects and ideas.
Dear
A good
Bahullah,
example can be like this.
can we
caption.
summarize your presentation? Sorry
That's all.
for
That's, I
interrupting
think,
you.
last.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's last. So the same,
Dr.
like this is
Baharulla,
another
please.
innovation that we see, and this is another innovation, like like in the hotel industry. This is another innovation that you see, and thank you so much. So that is all from my side, and I think innovation is something that even right now we are connected. It's an innovation. So so we are saving time, we are saving resources, and we are interacting from different parts of the world. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Okay, thank you, Baharulla Safi sir. And with this, we got a very good insight on innovation, the passion for innovation, and also we got very good examples of different innovations throughout the globe. So thank you very much, Safi sir. And now we are going to the next presenter, that is Associate Professor Murteza Hasanglu of Azerbaijan State Administration Academy, Azerbaijan. Sir, a request, if you can wrap it up at the earliest, sir.
Thank you very much.
We are already running out of time. So if you can wrap it up within 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. It is a request.
Öncelikle teşekkür ediyorum. Vaktimiz doldu. Ben kısa selamlama yaptıktan sonra ilan ediyorum. Türkçe olan sunumlar Kanal 2'den devam edecek. Uluslararası kuruluşun değerli temsilcileri, akademi ve düşünce dünyasının kıymetli mensupları, hanımefendiler, beyler, sizleri en kalbi duygularımla, hürmetle, muhabbetle selamlıyorum. Uluslararası CEO, İletişim, Ekonomi, Organizasyon, Sosyal Bilimler Kongresi'nde bu 6. buluşmamızda sizlerle bir araya gelmekten çok memnuniyet duyuyorum. Bölgemizin ve dünyamızın meselelerini konuşmak, tartışmak ve bunlara çözüm yolları üretmek için buradayız. Bu etkinliği düzenleyenlere, destekleyenlere, emeği geçenlere, başta Kerim Karadağ, Himmet Karadağ hocalarımız olmaları için teşekkür ediyorum. Saygılar sunuyorum. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you very much, Murteza Hasanglu sir. And with that, we are coming to the end, and we got very good insight into this session. We got our our respected guests like Assistant Professor Amelia Naim. She spoke about the skill development and the students, and she spoke about different countries collaboration, how it can bring some fruits. We got Sachin Gupta from India, from Mohanlal Sukhadia University in India, and he spoke about the skill and the force-driven employment skill development, national skill development mission that was started by Prime Minister India. Then we got very good at the last we got Safi sir, Professor Dr. Baharulla Safi from Vice President International Acacia University, Paris in USA. He spoke about very good entrepreneurship, new technology and passion that brings up entrepreneurship. And he also has said one thing, that registration is not the last word. Some other things are needed for that, for the the success of the entrepreneurship, and that is passion. And he described entrepreneurship versus business. And finally, we got Associate Professor Murteza Hasanglu of Azerbaijan State University, State Administration Academy, Azerbaijan. He spoke on his own subject. And with that, we end the session. And soon we will back with a next session of research methodology workshop. And it will be carried by Dr. Muhammad Ziaur Rahman, PhD, MA English, MPM, MBA, MEd, LLB, Malaysia Conceptual